Hey guys, it's Tara from Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I wanted to show you guys a little DIY project that I did this summer. I created my own oracle cards. I have an obsession with collecting tarot and oracle cards, and I figured, you know, I wanted to make something that was my own. I wanted to use my creativity, get that little creative outlet, and do it with something that I love, which is tarot and oracle cards. And I know that there are sites that you can go to in order to create your own tarot and oracle cards, either for personal use or for mass production if you're going to sell them. But I wanted to wait and see what I could create on my own before I get something produced that's nice that costs a little bit more money. So I was maybe trying to save on the cash a little bit first, and then I'll think about doing something a little fancier later on. So let me show you the deck that I made. I have a little crystal that I got the other day. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a little blue aura quartz. I got that in Old Town yesterday at the South American import shop. I just thought it was really pretty. Um, okay, so I have my little cover. It says Donna di Ispirazione, which means woman of inspiration in Italian. And I have a fascination for the Italian language and the people. And I got to go to Italy last summer and I fell in love. And I am part Italian too, so that was pretty awesome to go there. Okay, so let me show you these oracle cards. These are the backings of the cards. Don't know if you guys can see it. I painted it purple with acrylics, blue and green, and this like little pink, down at the bottom. And they're kind of glossy because I got them laminated down at Staples. So this didn't take me too much time. I did this kind of out in the garage. I had some acrylic paints. I had some extra paint brushes and some things left over. And sorry, it's really warm in here. Oh, I got this last summer in Italy. So let me actually show you my cards that I made. So these pictures I got out of magazines, and I decided not to put any words on my pictures. I was going to, sometimes I prefer oracle cards that have words on them, but I decided that I wanted to let my intuition run a little rampant. And so I decided that I wanted to get different meanings and different insight every time I looked at these photographs. So I opted not to do that. You can kind of see what an eclectic collection of magazines I have. So I have Surfing magazine. That last one came from, well, actually, this one too, from Maxim magazine. I think they have some beautiful photographs in that magazine. This is from Surfing magazine. Oh, I thought that's pretty. That's from one of my workout magazines. I read a lot of Oxygen. And that was, I think, from Woman's Day or Family Circle, one of those two. I think they have great recipes. And there is a little bit of nudity in this, and that's just because I adore the female body. I think women are beautiful. That one, I forgot where that came from. I know that came from Oxygen. I like that one. She's looks confused or some deep contemplation. Got the fast-paced world, living at lightning speed. I like this one, the Nomad, almost like the Hermit, and I like that. That kind of appealed to me because I'm half Filipina, and so kind of seeing the family and all the yummy foods like chicken adobo and lumpia and pancit and sotohon and sotohon bola bola, all of that stuff. That just kind of reminded me of family. And I also subscribe to Zoo News, and so I have a lot of animal pictures as well. It's really pretty. And I don't know, I just really like the picture of a piggy bank. I just thought that was neat. Exploration, that came from surfing. She looks very authoritative. Ain't gonna take no shit. I like some of the pictures. And that one's actually a book that looks like a flower, so that's gonna create some awesome thoughts. We have some what looks like jealousy. Making decisions. We have Mr. Suave. Some birds. Hanging out with your girlfriends. We got family barbecue. Speaking of hanging out with girlfriends, I'm actually going to be going with my best friend and her 2 daughters. Tomorrow we're going up to Clovis, California. And then we're going to hit up Yosemite, which I have never been to Yosemite. I live in California. I've never been to Yosemite. So that should be fun. I'm gonna be taking the God camera with my awesome wide angle lens. Take some awesome pictures. I like that one. So I was thinking of, you know, when I do decide to drop down the cash to have a tarot or oracle deck printed up, I would like to use some of the photographs I've taken since I'm a photographer. You know who that is. That is Wonder Woman. Like that. That came from my surfing magazine as well. And this also from Zoo News. Maxim. Helping hand. Okay. So let's take a look at kind of how I put these together. Oh, and the little box that I keep them in is this. My aunt passed away this summer, and so I inherited a lot of her jewelry and her jewelry boxes, and I already have a massive jewelry box. So I was kind of figuring, I didn't know what to do with her jewelry boxes, and she has some beautiful, you know, Asian jewelry boxes. Some come from Japan and things like that, and the Philippines. So right now I have some of the really nice ones stored away. I don't want to give them up, you know, obviously sentimental reasons, but I saw this little one and I didn't know what to do with it. So, you know, it opens up here. You know, it's got a nice little mirror and, you know, inside, and this little drawer opens up. So I decided to put my cards in there, but all of them didn't fit up top, which is fine. So I put them in the little drawer below. And their little title on top, and my pretty crystal on the top of that. So there you go. Hold on. So this doesn't like fall apart on me. So you get something like that. Okay, there you go. So it's personalized. You know, it's something, it's pictures I picked out. It's, you know, art and energy that I put into the cards. So now I really have a deck that, you know, speaks to me. It's a part of me. You know, I made it. I put it together. And actually, I just went down to Staples today to go pick up my laminated cards. So I got some more in between the super ridiculous heavy and the lightweight lamination pockets. And it came to total with like laser cutting and everything, and making sure that they were cut uniformly. I think it was $25, $26, which I think is fine. You know, I mean, it's kind of what I spend on, you know, tarot and oracle decks, and sometimes a little bit more anyway. So I thought that was fantastic. Okay, so how did I make them? Sorry, it's really hot. Okay, so I went down to the Goodwill a few days ago, and I'll have to do a haul video, show you guys all the awesome stuff I found at the Goodwill, and maybe stuff that, you know, I've actually just picked up throughout the summer at the Del Mar Fair, where, you know, I help my boyfriend. He has a booth at the Del Mar Fair, and I get to play assistant every summer. So I got some stuff from there, I got some stuff from Old Town, and kind of all the little places that, you know, I go to around my hometown in San Diego. Okay, so I found this little box down at the Goodwill, and I thought it was really cute. I mean, there's no markings on the actual box, so I thought I could keep the Oracle cards in there. Unfortunately, after I got them laminated, they were too big, but that's fine because now they're in a pretty box that belonged to my auntie. So there was 365 of these little like affirmations, but the card, it's just paper. So I was kind of hoping that they were like cards so that I could just put pictures onto them and, you know, do it that way. But I ended up just using them for sizing, for the size cards that I wanted. So keeping, you know, kind of all this in mind, I found like several packets of these like 5x8 you know, note cards, which is nice and thick. Also at the Goodwill, it was like $5.99 for I don't know how many of these I got, which is pretty freaking awesome. So I ended up taking, you know, one, and then I would fold it in half, just like so. And then I took one of the little affirmation cards, just like that, you know, kind of along the folded edge, and took my pair of scissors and, you know, I just kind of cut it out. Once I finished cutting, because this was open, I ended up taking my glue. Actually, I used an Elmer's glue so that it would, you know, stick a little bit harder. So I did that, let that dry overnight, and I used something really heavy, like it was like a bunch of books or something like that, so that I could get this edge, you know, to lie flat. And then afterwards, once it was dry, I used my acrylic paints, and I used blue and green and purple and pink, and I just was out in my garage and just kind of had some fun, just kind of creating something. So I don't even know what that is. I mean, it looked awesome. Okay, so then and then I let that dry, and of course with the paint they kind of curled up a little bit. So the next day I just I had already found a bunch of pictures from magazines, you know, so, you know, find from your various magazines, you know, pictures of, you know, anything, and then I started figuring out which ones actually fit on here and would look good once they were cut out. So then I glued them on, took my pictures, glued them on, and then I placed them back underneath the stack of books that I had, so that they would finally be really flat. And so then I took those to Staples, and that's when I got, you know, the, you know, lamination, which it's pretty rigid. You know, I got the medium thickness. The hard thickness, the really thick one was like ridiculous. I was like, oh, never mind, I think this will be fine. I mean, because, you know, with this folded up, this was thick enough anyway, with paint on it, with a picture on it, and so then you put the lamination, and I think they shuffle really well. I think they slide really well. So, you know, just kind of, there you go. Hey! And then for I have a bunch of this letterhead paper. So I grabbed this, I grabbed a Sharpie, grabbed my scissors, and bam. Okay, so hopefully this created a little bit of inspiration. You know, I'm eager to find out if you guys have ever made do-it-yourself oracle cards, or if you're thinking of doing it. So share that in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing what you make. All right, see you later, guys.